Good afternoon, everyone. It's meteorologist Terry Swails. You have dialed into tswails.com here. This is your weather briefing for a Monday afternoon. Glad to have you aboard here. And I have an eye-popping statistic for you today. We have not had a 90-degree temperature yet in the Quad Cities, and we have now tied the all-time latest occurrence for a 90-degree temperature. And I certainly don't think it's going to happen today, so that'll get us at least into tomorrow before I think the streak has a pretty good chance of coming to an end. We are anticipating much warmer temperatures to move into the area for one day on Tuesday, and a very good chance we'll see at least 90 degrees. And here's why: the 500 millibar chart. And again, at the jet stream level, notice the winds coming in from the southwest. That opens us up for some toasty air that's been developing in that portion of the country to finally make a quick move into the Midwest. On the satellite picture, not only is the warmth moving towards us, but we're now tapping into some moisture, a little monsoonal moisture coming in from the southwest. Also, Gulf of Mexico moisture now entering the overall weather pattern. And so the humidity levels are going to be increasing dramatically too in the next 24 hours, which will make the heat feel extra tough out there. Now here's something that we're going to be watching later on tonight and tomorrow morning. And if you see that little dry area that's coming into the western part of the plains, especially into western Nebraska and southwest South Dakota, I've got an arrow there where it says dry. That's a mid-level jet streak that's expected to develop some thunderstorms here as we get towards the evening or overnight hours. And there is a chance with the storm track in its current position that these could curl southeast and catch parts of my area late tonight or early in the day on Tuesday. They may not hold together until sunrise, but there is at least a chance of that, so we'll have to watch for some late night thunderstorms tonight as the nose of that jet moves right over the top of us. Here is the simulated radar. This is at 7 a.m. on Tuesday, and this is off the high-res NAM. If it's reading the cards correctly, it does show some of those scattered storms around here, and those will move quickly southeast and out of the area early on Tuesday. After that, the sun pops out, and the temperatures should really take off. And here's the high temperatures that are forecasted for tomorrow afternoon. You're looking at Iowa there right in the center of the screen. And it looks like much of southeastern Iowa has the potential of reaching highs in the range of 90 to 95 degrees. Some of that should also streak into west central Illinois. So if that happens, that finally puts the streak of no 90-degree days to bed. Now, it's one thing to be warm and hot, but boy, when you add moisture to it, that's when you get your really sultry conditions and your high heat index values. And this is the precipitable moisture that's expected to be over the region tomorrow evening. It's over 2 inches. That is a lot of moisture and a real tip-off that humidity levels are going to be high. And here's what the actual dew points are expected to look like. This is a real key measure of the moisture that's available. And when the dew points are starting to get into the upper 70s, that's a real tropical air mass, to say the least. And so when you have that much moisture in the air and temperatures that'll be in the 90s, the heat index values could reach 100 to 105 degrees, and you will also get plenty of instability. These are the CAPE values that are showing up tomorrow evening, and they are 4,000 to 5,000 joules from southeastern Wisconsin right back through the Quad Cities and towards Kansas City. And so that indicates a lot of instability. And with the cold front approaching late tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening, there is the chance that some active thunderstorms could fire in that general zone. And this is the simulated radar for 10 o'clock on Tuesday evening. And there is a line of storms showing there from northern Michigan back through southeast Wisconsin and into east central Iowa. So at least the model trying to show some scattered activity. One of the things that'll be difficult about tomorrow's scenario to get storms to pop will be the very warm air aloft. That generates a cap. It's like when you take a bottle of pop and you shake it up, you know that as soon as that lid gets popped off of there, all that energy inside is going to squirt out. Well, tomorrow that's the situation the atmosphere will be in. There'll be just tremendous amounts of energy with the high CAPE, but if we can't break the cap and take that off the top of the bottle there, none of that is going to erupt into showers and thunderstorms. So there's a big if as far as that's concerned. But the point in all this is that if we do get any thunderstorms to fire later tomorrow afternoon or evening, there is a chance of some severe storms and some locally heavy rains, especially with the high moisture levels. And so that's something we'll have to watch tomorrow, but at least a slight risk of some severe storms. Then the front continues to work its way on to the southeast. And remember these moisture levels we talked about for tomorrow evening? I'll remind you once again here, over 2 inches. Well, look what happens by the time we get to Thursday. Our front has traveled all the way down into southern Missouri and Illinois, and drier air is moving right back into the upper Midwest, and the precipitable water values are cut down from 2.2 inches to about 0.6 or 7. So that is a dramatic decrease in the overall moisture levels. That's reflected in the dew points, which up in northern Wisconsin are expected to be running into the 40s. Boy, some really fresh, nice Canadian air expected to once again move back into the Midwest. And overall, the pattern is expected to amplify once again the next few days. And as a result of that, look at the jet stream flow at 500 millibars by the time we get to July 28th. Another major trough digging into the eastern half of the country. And that is expected to drop those temperatures substantially once again. And here's the temperature anomalies on the 28th of July. And we're looking at readings once again as cool as 20 to 25 degrees below normal. And that'll probably keep some highs in the upper 60s to low 70s in many parts of the upper Midwest. So while it's going to get hot here and steamy for one day, it won't be around for too long. So that is your weather briefing here for this Monday. I hope you guys all have a terrific week out there. Thanks for visiting tswails.com. And as I always say, roll with it.